So what can you bring to the table at our fine dining experience?
Okay, you've got this. Remember, the thing. Pretty cool, right?
You're hired.
Wait, seriously? Heh, this will be so free. Ah. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but hopefully this was enough to reel you into this video. Thanks for watching. Jobs, am I right? You love them, or you hate them, and you still gotta do them. Hi, I'm Shrimp, and let me tell you a terrible tale about my time at Waccas. Snuggle up, or start your homework, or lock in some art, and let's get going. My first job was at the famous and infamous Wackdonald. I was told by my mum to get a job at the ripe old age of 15, the minimum age a labourer can be. Because she believed it was a necessary stepping stone in my life and a good experience to start understanding social norms. And also because she thought I was lazy, a homestayer, and played Pokemon on my DS all day. Which is totally the coolest and raddest 2000s thing to play as a kid. Being the absolute social butterfly of a person that I was, even just the thought of social interactions was a no-go and nuh-uh in my books. I didn't want to leave the house and let alone get a job.
I like staying home and playing on my DS.
Lucky for me, the first place I applied to was Waccas. It was surprisingly pretty easy to get, in that they literally gave me the job on the spot. Shouldn't they have done a background check to see if I was capable or not first? Or even dangerous?
Oh.
He's perfect. I thought for the longest time that I had some sort of swaying magic that made things go my way. Now being older and wiser, I know the real pain of trying to find a job. And that I was such a silly little shrimp. I know that I said that I didn't want to get a job, but a way in which I convinced myself that I wanted to get a job was for the goodness of society. JK, I wanted that cash. I never really had any money of my own to spend growing up. Having an allowance really wasn't a thing in my household. Hashtag Asian families relate, am I right? For a while, I did get some pocket change for doing some chores and stuff, but the money went down from $5 a fortnight to $2 a fortnight to I do chore, I get to live here, plus no money. As a kid, we all know the feeling of finding $2 and how it feels like a million, but after getting my first paycheck, it was like the world was mine. TV's getting weird these days, huh? Anyways, as someone who's worked at Waccas for a little while now, I can say that it hasn't been as bad as some people make it out to be. I won't say anything is bad about the working conditions, that was unrelated. Or some of the people I've had the honor of working with. Let's talk about how I've been working at Waccas for, how long have I been working here for? Oh look, contract son. Oh, contract son, how long have I been working here for?
It's been 6 years. 6 years? That's like, what, quarter of my life. Crazy.
I know I said I was going to be positive about working at Waccas, but in between the constant rush of angry customers and how long I've worked there for, how much pink slime have I actually consumed? And how many burgers have I had to eat over these 6 years?
That's a lot of burgers. Not that I'm complaining, I love burgers. Delicky. I know that we fellow unsociable grass allergic beings have a limited supply of social energy in our days. I don't know if I'm impressed or hate myself for working there for so long. There are two vectors I have to thank for this tolerable suffering. 1. The pay got better as I aged, plus graveyard shift.
The pay was so good, in fact, that I have permanently ruined my sleep schedule and am incapable of enjoying my mornings. Number 2. My previous lack of self-esteem in trying to find more jobs. Having constant fears of what the future will behold. If my 2 jobs and art and YouTube will be able to sustain me. Being stressed about jobs that I don't even want to work, and worrying that maybe I'll be another artist, living in a box across from my parents' house, when they inevitably kick me out of the basement. Anyways, here are some stories about my worst customers.
There was this moment when I was a newbie employee, and I vividly remember getting this one customer.
He was clearly grouchy, and I was the one making his coffee. And he kept staring at me with his piercing eyes.
And I was low-key, high-key confused about this guy's attitude towards me. There were other people working that day, but this guy decides to single me out with his beady eyes, or so it felt like that. Anyways, at the drive-thru window, we have this little table that we put all of the food before we give out your food, as you do at a drive-thru. So I placed down a small coffee, and this guy starts screaming at me. My double shot dirty chai mocha was supposed to be a large. Does anyone know how to make a simple coffee around here?
Sir, but your double shot dirty chai mocha is right here, as I give it out to him. And we just sat there for 5 awkward seconds before he drove off, without his food, by the way. Mr. Manager, who's this food for? Yeah, it's for that angry guy. Where'd he go? So eventually the guy comes back after forgetting about his food for 20 minutes. Being the respectful and gosh darn angel of a customer this guy is. He speeds through the drive-thru and nearly crashes into the car in front of him. But that was our sign, and we know who it is, and we have his food ready. When we give it out to him, he sticks his head into the bag, and then I knew a crude comment is coming. It's cold, I'm not talking about the bloody food. Yap, we've heard it all before, buddy. And this slimy prawn complains to me that his coffee is cold after he left 20 minutes ago forgetting all about his food. Yeah, of course your bloody coffee is cold. The audacity. On one of my numerous graveyard shifts, aka overnight shifts, I had this one car of music blasting teenagers that reeked suspiciously of apple juice, quote unquote. A tired but diligent shrimp was at the front of the store, slaving away, cleaning up after the last rush of customers when BLAM! The drive-thru speakers erupt in my ears.
I asked them politely, "Welcome to Waccas. Please wait and I'll get to you soon." I'm sure they couldn't hear me over all that bass. Quickly, I make my way up to the drive-thru booth and I notice a certain group of noisy people already at the window sitting there menacingly with a side of bass. But since they didn't wait for their orders at the speakers, I had to take their order face to face with a side of bass. Okay, I'll stop. Now there is a reason why there are speakers at the drive-thru booth. It's to minimize my face-to-face interactions with the customers. Now it's not only streamlined and efficient, but it's also to stop wasting my quickly diminishing social energy. I was on my last straw. The amount of time these hooligans changed their orders and re-added something was abysmally numerous. And a tired, underpaid and overworked shrimp was slowly losing his sanity. This is how it went. Did you get my big whack meal with the extra fries and large chocolate sundae?
That was a shake. Fries, quite a big whack.
How about the 5
Oh.
chicken and cheeseburgers
Whatever.
and the 2-piece 40
Big
nugs
wax,
with the
stop.
extra big wax sauce? And the Coke without ice and the vanilla Coke with fries.
After they had all paid for their meals, there were a group of peeps in the back who asked for my number out of nowhere.
I was about to give my personal deets to these peeps who have caused me so much pain and anguish and brain cell death. My poor brain cell. No, I was done with their stuff. And with my last remaining brain cell I had left, I had a comeback come to my head. My number? Sorry, but that's not on the menu. And then there was silence. They looked at me with the most deadpan expression, and then they drove off. In that moment, I thought I had won the war.
But anytime I remember that interaction, and especially right now as I record this,
I die on the inside.
honestly, if you don't like talking to people, and you start working in fast food, you either learn to hate it, or go insane like me! It's not that bad. I was so bad at confronting people as a kid, and it gave me thicker skin. And I'm not that good at it still. Having said that, I do recommend taking a job up in hospitality and experiencing it, even if it is just for a little while when you're younger, so you can feel what fast food workers go through. Remember to respect and appreciate your fast food workers. They feed a lot of people. That's 3/4 in Oz. Anyways, let's quickly get some other customers out of the way. There was a car full of teenagers that threw an egg at me when I gave them their food, and it didn't break because I am wobbly. Getting a face full of soft serve because it started melting. What do you want me to do? It's 35 degrees. And at least the soft serve machine wasn't broken. What a waste. A suspicious group of squeakers walk in and ask for pickles and start flicking them at customers. At least it's not at me this time. What is with people and throwing their food? Ugh. Thanks for watching, and especially till the end of the video. This video has kind of been a fever dream to me that I've been making over the last year and a half. Make sure you like and subscribe so I might make another video, and hopefully on a monthly basis, not yearly. Well, look at the time. Gotta get to my next shift. On the grind, am I right? Anyway, how many Among Uses were in the video, and now I shall succumb to capitalism?